Good morning, my precious little weirdos. Well. It seems that Pennsylvania has found a way to fuck back with ICE. This thought came to my mind from the start, but I was watching how it played out because I was not sure, since nobody else was mentioning it, if what I was thinking was even, something that was legitimate. Because when ICE goes in and they're not showing faces, they're not telling us who they are, they won't tell us badge numbers, names, don't have their plates showing identity, that kind of thing, and they just take people and attack anybody who's trying to protect the people from abduction. Can't the states do something about that? Arrest them while they're doing it? Because they're not constitutionally legitimate. Not ICE itself. I'm saying the current form of ICE they're doing completely unconstitutional things. Just being there unidentified is, and then but then also attacking people that are trying to stop an abduction, a kidnapping, is, and guess what? Their daddy Trump can't save them, because you can't pardon crimes committed in state, that are state charges. Federal charges, you can pardon. State charges, you can't fuck with the states. The states have that autonomy. And trust me, we are going, especially the blue and the purpley ones, are absolutely going to start taking their own states' entitlement, where by the state laws and the Constitution. That's the way it is. You cannot pardon somebody if they've got state charges. If they have state and federal, you can pardon them for the federal ones, but you cannot, as the president, pardon somebody that's imprisoned for state charges. That's the state's choice, not the government, because they didn't do it on a federal level to the government itself, to the country. They did it to that state. So the state decides what they want to do about it. And Trump cannot push his way in and pardon them. He cannot force them to be let go if they've been imprisoned on state charges. And so, Pennsylvania, let me read it so I get it completely accurate. Philadelphia's superstar Democratic District Attorney Larry Krasner lays out a brilliant playbook for arresting and prosecuting Donald Trump's fascist ICE agents and troops as the MAGA crackdowns spiral out of control. I've got this information, and what I'm reading is because I credit Occupy Democrats. I saw this, one of the first things this morning, so I'm like, ooh, my peeps need to hear. States have a lot more power than even Donald thinks. But Donald and thinks in the same sentence seems a little incongruent, don't you? How many MAGAs do you think know the word incongruent? How many know the word, what's the word? I'm going to give you a slap fact in a minute. I'm going to finish this. This plan even undermines the presidential pardon. If what you have is a group of ICE agents, or you have military coming into Philadelphia and they're committing crimes, they're committing assaults that are illegal, homicides that are illegal, like I told you, because they've had people seizing. They're trying to arrest them and tackling to the ground. And one gal went into a seizure. I think one fella had a heart attack. And they just, then they say, stop resisting. I don't know if you saw that video. There was a woman seizing. I think I covered it. There was a woman seizing on the ground while she was being taken down and shit. And the cops yelling, stop resisting, stop moving. And somebody off camera is yelling, probably the one filming, is like, she's having a seizure. She has seizures. She's having a fucking seizure. What? Stop. She's having a seizure. She's having a medical incident. Stop. And they don't. They accuse the victim of resisting arrest. So they have committed. Coming into a neighborhood, masked and unidentified, is committing a crime. Right off the bat. Listen up, states. Talk. When you make your phone calls, you talk to them. You're not going to remember by Monday? Make one now. You can leave a voicemail. Make those calls to your reps and your senators. And do it with the state ones, not just the federal. Do it with the state ones. Tell them you know they are committing crimes. And you insist that as a Democratic blue state, that our state does ABC. That's what you tell them. And you leave a damn voicemail and you tell them on the voicemail, I could not wait to talk to you in person, so I am leaving this voicemail and I expect it to be paid attention to. You need to talk to people in power like you have power too, because you do. They just don't want you to know that. As soon as they grovel for your vote. They sure want to talk to you. But as soon as they get it, it's like, no, I don't need to hear from you anymore. Remind them they fucking do. Okay. So they're committing crimes, they're assaulting, that's illegal. Homicides, that is illegal. They're kidnapping people, they're engaging in unlawful restraint, that is illegal, which is a crime in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Krasver said. Probably in most states it is. They're obstructing the administration of justice, he continued. If you have people coming in, military, ICE, whoever it is, acting beyond their legal authority, they can be prosecuted, assuming they commit crimes in state court. They can be prosecuted, assuming they commit crimes in state court. That comma was put in the wrong place by me. And they cannot be pardoned, by the president, which means that they get to tell a Philadelphia jury exactly why it is that they thought they could invade that city, and they get to bear the consequences, whether they are handcuffs, a jury trial, or a jail sentence, he concluded. This is exactly the kind of hardline approach we need from all of our Democratic leaders. Trump and his minions are breaking the law at every turn, and it's time that we started holding them accountable. And when they do it in your state, the state government can hold them accountable and needs to. Do you hear that, blue states? You need to start holding ICE accountable when they enter and break the laws. It's your state they're breaking them in. You can take them to task for that. They're not on federal land. They're on state land. And that means they deal with the state law, not the federal law. Your little daddy cult leader is not going to protect you, ICE. Ever hear of the Nuremberg trials? You should look it up. These masked ICE agents think that they're above the law as they work to build a MAGA dystopia. They're in for a rude awakening. By prosecuting any lawbreakers on a state level, Democrats can circumvent the presidential pardon, which has been irreparably corrupted by Trump. He demonstrates a willingness to abuse it by purely political purposes with his mass pardon for the January 6th insurrectionists. Any plan for fighting back against these Republican criminals must be a factor in our reality. We all know, we've all seen them breaking numerous laws. And they're even making bodily contact and body shoving and stuff like that, putting hands on people that are just recording it or peppering them with questions. How come your face is masked? What's your badge number? What's your badge number? What's your name? How come your license plates are covered? What agency are you with? Why won't you answer us? Where's your name tag? Where's your badge number? What's your badge number? Are you here legally? Did you go under any training? What's your badge number? What's your name? How come your face is masked? Unmask your face. That's not legal. Law enforcement does not legally cover their face. Pepper them with it. But be prepared. They may put their hands on you. You're not doing anything. But if you and others are recording, that will be recorded. And states, especially if you're in a blue state, if you can muster that courage, if you're in that moment and you're not the one being attacked, assaulted, but you know you can be if you speak up, speak up. Please speak up. We all have heard what happened through Germany and in Nazi Germany. We know people got injured who defended or refused to divulge information. Got in the way of them committing their illegal acts of kidnapping and assaulting people. I understand. And I'm very well aware, but I've made that promise to myself that, and it's not even if, it's when they get to wherever I am, if it's in my complex, or you might be someplace and they roll up in a parking lot and start assaulting and kidnapping people. I've made the vow. I will not just stand there, and I will not just stand there and record. Yes, that's doing something, but you need to lend your voice to that. You need to do like you've seen those few women, and it's the women mostly. And you ladies that have that mom voice, use it on the ice. Use it. Use the psychological. What would your mom think? What are your grandchildren going to think? I'm sure your whole family isn't MAGA. You know all those pictures that we see of the awful people from Nazi Germany after the fact, when the comeuppance was happening? Yeah. You want your picture to be up there as the lesson on how fascism and evil governments, corrupt, hateful governments, and what they do when they get a little power? You know, I've seen people with the National Guard. We've all seen them with the National Guard, especially when they're just standing there. If they have, because he's planning on doing that to some states and cities. If he does that, remember, talking is not a crime. And you can talk to them. Use a bullhorn. I bought one. Tell them this is not the oath they signed. They took an oath to the country and to the people, not to the president and not to a party. They know what they're doing is illegal and immoral. And I'm sure some of you have parents or siblings that are incredibly embarrassed by you. You're not doing the correct thing and you know it. You are hurting your neighbors and your family, or your National Guard buddies' neighbors. Your name will go down in history, but on the very incorrect side. Tell them, remind them, and keep repeating it. You know, what was it, Hannah, Sally, or whatever, whoever that was? I'm just off the top of my head. You know how every night in the camp they would broadcast on the speakers so everybody could hear for miles? While you're off doing somebody's bidding, fighting this evil war, your girlfriends and wives are fucking around on you. You should be home. You shouldn't be here doing this. You should all go home. Your children need you. They're probably being bullied in school. They need you. You probably should be there. I'm sure your wives and your girlfriends are getting pretty lonely. You haven't had time to write or call. Well, you probably should be checking on that, huh? Yeah, that kind of stuff, that was done in the wars. And it worked. It got to their head. Just keep telling them these things. While one person is filming and peppering them with, what's your name? Why is your face covered? Why don't you have a license plate visible? Why are you doing this? What agency are you with? You know this is illegal, right? You know, while somebody's peppering them with that, somebody else can be peppering them with, you know your mom does not approve of this. You're breaking the law. You are an embarrassment to the country and to your family. You are so dishonoring your family's name. Your parents are so embarrassed. Your siblings are probably embarrassed. You know you can be prosecuted for these things, even if it's under you're taking orders, right? Because the Constitution says you're allowed to disobey official orders when they are against the Constitution. And what this is against the Constitution, guys. So you are allowed legally, without getting a trial, a military tribunal, you can officially refuse to attack people because it's against the Constitution. Have somebody telling them that, repeating it over and over and over, just a little differently, in a conversational way, so it doesn't feel like you're preaching to them. It feels like you're speaking with them. Hey, you guys, come on. You know you don't want to be sitting here. It's freaking hot, sitting here in those uniforms, and you're doing nothing. Next thing he's going to have you do is start picking up the garbage like he's doing in D.C. Is that what you here it for? National Guard is picking up trash? The Park Service is supposed to be doing that, guys. He fired them and fucked up, so now he's got you doing it because you can't refuse orders. Use those things. Say that kind of stuff. While another person is peppering them, they want to confuse us and cause chaos so you don't know where to look. Do it to fucking them. Some of you people need to get together and that live in the same area and make that promise that if you're around and they roll in, you all converge and you start. One person knows they're going to start peppering, and they've been practicing what I was just saying about you don't have to do this. This is wrong. You know it. You're going to get in trouble eventually, if you don't die before then. If he doesn't get you killed before then. Say that. When all of this is done and Trump is taken out of office, the Nuremberg trials, modern day, will commence. And if Trump doesn't get you killed before you get on trial, you might wish he would have. Because those war criminals, they didn't fare well, most of them. A few slipped by. Don't count on you being the few. But make sure. And if there is nobody else, then you do it. If you're the one filming, then you go between, peppering them with, who are you? Why is your face covered? Why is your license plate not visible? That's supposed to be visible. You know that, even if you're law enforcement. Where's your name tag? What's your name? How come you don't have a badge? What's your badge number? What agency are you with? How come you have your face covered? You look like a criminal. How come a few years ago, when there's a communicable virus worldwide, you wouldn't wear your mask, but now you want to desperately cling to your mask? Why is that? Why is that? Were we right? Were we correct that masks do work for things? Oh, yeah. And then when you're done with that, go to the, you know this is illegal. You know you're not supposed to be doing this. You know this is against the Constitution, right? Because it is. And you know you can be and you will be prosecuted when your power is gone. Remember that, because in a couple years from now, you'll be sitting in prison probably for a very, very, very long time. So I would suggest that maybe you start treating people a little better, because how do you know that? How do you know that I'm not a corrections officer and that you won't wind up in my unit? How do you know that? Why is your face covered? What are you doing? You're kidnapping people. You know this is illegal, right? I'm filming this. You know that, right? If you're the only one, go between peppering them with who are you? Why is everything covered? To, you know you don't have to do this. You know you're going to get prosecuted eventually for this shit. You know that, right? And then just go back to, why is your face covered? Are you ashamed? Are you embarrassed? Are you a January 6th insurrectionist? Do you have a criminal record yourself? Is that why you have your face covered? Practice it. Practice it like I'm doing right now. You see what I'm doing? I'm making a video, but y'all can do the same thing. You all can do the same thing. So when the shit hits the fan and the incident is in your face, you don't freeze up. You are a fucking democracy warrior and you pepper those little bastards. Who are you? Where are you? You know this is illegal. You know you're going to get prosecuted eventually, don't you? You know we're keeping record, right? You know I'm photographing, right? You know I'm videotaping. You know this is illegal. What's your badge number? What agency are you really? Did you get any training? Do you have any law enforcement training? Do you have any training? Did you go anywhere? Or did you just go to, like, Walmart and buy some crap? Get some shit off Etsy, and now you're a big, strong ice person. How do you know some of these people aren't off-duty cops? How do you know that? You don't know that, do you? And you're in our state. You're not on federal land, bucko. Anybody can do it. Prepare for when, not if it happens, when it happens. When it happens. They will be rolling into either your neighborhood or a parking lot near you. Coming to a parking lot near you. They think they're ready for what they're doing. But if you get ready yourself, their readiness will be crap compared to yours. You pepper them like a fucking boss. You fast-paced question them. You create the chaos. You get them where they're starting to think about what can I answer, and then you switch to, you know this is illegal. You know you don't have to follow these orders, don't you? I can see you're not happy doing what you're doing. Are you just a thug? Are you a criminal too? Is that why your face is masked? Is that, you see this, people? This is why they're masked, because they make them want to interact. I'm not a criminal. Oh, so you're a human. Okay. Work with it. They're giving us a lot. You just have to get over the intimidation, and they're doing it exactly for that, to freeze you. The deer in the headlights of, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh shit, I can't do it. I can't say anything, because if they might arrest me too. I've seen them just grab somebody photographing, videoing it, and I've seen them grab them and the phone goes flying while it's still filming. You won't be kept long. Even if you're kept for a day, overnight. You'll get home. And then you're on record as being a democracy defender. And whatever bruises and injuries you got for standing up for America and your state and your neighbors, it'll be well worth it. And you'll have it all on video. That video and them assaulting you could sometime in the future possibly be a hinge for everything else getting convicted. I'm just saying, sometimes the smallest thing in the moment makes all the difference when the consequence phase comes. Get passionate. You see something rolling up, start hyping yourself up right away. Start thinking this thing. Get yourself ready. Get that adrenaline hopped up. So if it happens, when it does, you're ready as a democracy defending warrior. Because we need you. And to be honest with you, trust me, I'm somebody who at one point was so bullied and intimidated by different people. You're going to say, oh, no. But yeah, I was so, I wouldn't speak up until it came flying out. And I know you're thinking now, that ain't true, Judy. It is, actually. You know, what you see here, the people that say, fuck you, I know you're breaking the law, stop lying. That person got stepped on an awful lot before she became this. I don't want you stepped on and abused the way I was. Because quite a few of the incredibly brave, you think, wow, that's courageous fighter for democracy. Those people, they're usually the people that have been on the other side, on the other end, and have lived through being intimidated and thwarted and overruled just because you have power, not because you're correct. I've been zinged by corruption in courts, and years later, it broke. The corruption was widespread in the state. It doesn't change what they did, but it changes you. And right now, what's happening and been happening for 7 months, you all should be pretty angry about now. Yeah, right? Most people that are not mad publicans, you're pretty upset right now, right? Pretty pissed off, pretty angry as fucking hell, disillusioned, a little scared. Use it. Use it. How do you think I and the other people that you see getting passionate and going after them verbally. How do you think we're doing that? Because we're pissed. And we're not holding it in anymore. We're just corralling it. And then we're aiming it at who needs it to be aimed at. You can do it. You can do it. Judi, I don't speak up. Shit, I can't even speak up in class, or I can't even speak up in a meeting. It's like everybody's gonna look at me when they call on me. So there. Now you got your audience. You had something to say. I get the stomach flopping and like I'm gonna puke if I start this talk. You won't. And if you do, there's people in the audience that feel the same way. If they have to speak in public about, against something, they're just gonna like hurl. They're gonna get so sick to their stomach. They're so scared and nervous because everybody's staring at them. I'm going to forget what I want to say. I know the trick of people in their underwear. There's something that works even better. Stay in your headspace on why you're so angry and upset and riled up about the topic that you're talking about. Keep that in your head. And when you're looking out to talking to people, you can adjust your eyes. It's kind of like if you get to learn how stereograms, how your eyes can shift perspective, like a camera does, it fuzzy things when you look at something close up, everything in the background gets fuzzy. And then if you want to focus on something in the background, everything around the front gets fuzzy, right? You can do that with your vision. You can work the muscles of your eyes. You can. And that's what doing the stereogram is about. And if you get to where you can do those within 5 seconds of looking at it, you've gotten your eyes adjusted and you can see the picture in it, use that. Use it. It works. It works. Like some people, if they don't, like reading glasses, like right now, okay, I can see, but it's a little blur, like a doubly type of thing, because I need reading glasses, but I'm not reading anything, so I don't need to put them on. But it's the same kind of feel. Or when you change the prescription, the new ones feel different. It's the same kind of feeling when you do the stereograms. It's the same idea that it's weird. Your eye actually gets tired. Your eyeball gets tired. If you're doing it the correct way, it gets tired because you are actually consciously moving those to change what you're seeing or how you're seeing it. And I know a lot of people I've known have gotten very frustrated. Like, I can't do them anymore. But it's actually, if you do that, if you learn how to do that, even if you don't need glasses, when you look out at a bunch of people, they'll kind of be a little bit fuzzy. You don't see their faces very clear. And the other thing is, don't dwell on one particular face, because their reaction, their facial expressions are going to affect you. If they don't believe what you're saying, they'll be like, that'll put that into your head. Put a blank, imagine a chalkboard and you're erasing, right? And it doesn't fully get crisp, clear, but it has like that little foggy look to it, even though it's cleaned. You kind of want to do that with your people if you're scared of talking to people. It's not scared as much as nervous that you're going to say something wrong and embarrass yourself. Isn't that pretty much what fear of speaking in public is? You're going to fuck up or do something or say something stupid and everybody's going to laugh at you, right? So, laugh with it. Go, I'm a little bit nervous, guys. Everybody will be like, it's okay, go on, it's okay, we got you. A lot of people will. Unless you're in an event with Magpublicans, and I don't know what they'll do. But you need to start speaking up, guys. And the everyday person, oh, I'm not an advocate. I don't do the protests. I protest in my own way. Okay. Is that helping what's going on? Is it making a difference? Yeah, but that's what I'm able to do. Is it because you don't have the time to protest or say something, speak out to, if they're around your area, the national, don't make excuses, because you'll regret that if they're successful in remolding America into Nazi Germany. It's not hyperbole. It's not, I'm not exaggerating it. This is the time, and these are the moments. And when ICE rolls around to where you are, you need to speak against them loudly. Let me tell you a secret. The hardest part is the first few words, the first few sentences. After that, if you're listening to what you're saying as you're saying it, you'll get swept up in your words, in your little speech, or whatever it is. And before you know it, if you allow it, you're going to start feeling that passion that you feel when people are staring at you. You're going to start feeling that. And your voice is going to start showing it. And then before you know it, days later, people will be saying, I never saw somebody so brave, one person, to stand up to those people. And you'll be the one they're talking about. When you do it for the first time, it could be something that you've been battling in your life, that you just can't do that. Now's the time. Because there's democracy warriors in every liberal and progressive. You just need to know how to get yourself to do it. Because once you start, trust me, you're not going to want to stop. You're going to wait and be like, yeah, I hope ICE comes up here. I hope they do. I got some words I want to talk to them. I got some things I want to say to those people. Put it in that attitude. Not, I hope they're here to come get people, but, yeah. Come roll up on my area, buddy. Y'all gonna hear shit you don't wanna. And I'm gonna videotape you for my state police. My state courts. Absolutely. Because I've run into, even in Blue Jersey, I have run into, like, our own mayor, who's a staunch Republican. There are police departments in Jersey that are very sympathetic to the MAGA and very strict with everyone else. But you still need to try. You got the whole weekend to start practicing, because y'all can be a democracy warrior. And not only are you doing it in your area, but when the video is posted, you're not even shown, because you're the one videoing, right? Just your voice. They're just going to hear a disembodied voice being a warrior. Keep that in mind too. Because after you video, after you record, all the shit's down in your home. You're gonna upload that stuff. I know you are. You're recording it for a reason so people can see it, what's happening. And you're gonna realize, oh, I'm not even in it. Ooh, wait, I can even be bolder. They can hear you, but for those of you that are very about everybody looking at you, think of that aspect. So, and anybody that is also filming at that point might get you on film, but you're not thinking about that now. And suddenly, you're a democracy warrior. Oh my. Pretty soon, you don't even have to psych yourself into doing it. You're just like, that ice? Believe me, I've been like, see somebody, two people walking a dog that are wearing black, and I'm like, Ice wouldn't be walking a dog. You know? Trust me, I am. I'm like, who's that? I promise you I do that. And I was not somebody who wanted everybody looking at me and the whole world seeing a video. No, please no. I don't really need to be recognized every place I go, okay? Trust me, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You too can be a democracy warrior. A democracy beast. Be a democracy beast.